Good morning. I'm back with our story, Letters from Felix, a Little Rabbit on a World Tour. It's by Annette Langen and Constanza Droop. And we are going to read a letter from Kenya, which is also in Africa. And it says, From Felix on a Safari, Kenya, Africa. If you're just joining us, we started reading this book 4 or 5 days ago. It is a really cute story. It was mine when I was a little girl. And this is Felix. He is our main character in the story. And he is Sophie's teddy bear who got lost in an airport. And he is now traveling around the world. So he's been to the continent of Europe. He went to London and Paris and Italy. And also he has been to the continent of Africa, where he still is. First he was in Egypt. And now we are going to read about what he's learned or seen while in Kenya. If you haven't watched the other videos, you should check them out so you can know what's going on in our story. All right, let's get to today's letter. Dear Sophie, November in Africa. Sorry that I made you wait so long, but my trip from the Nile River to the coast of Africa was very difficult. First, I traveled by train and then in an ancient bus. The bus rattled as though it might collapse or break at any moment, but the long trip was worth it. Even in November, it is still sunny here, and there are endless stretches of beach and deep blue water. We could build the best sandcastles together here. But it's no fun for me all by myself. Do you know that I went on a real safari? I saw genuine or real elephants. Also striped horses that are called zebras. Very far away, I spotted a lion. I was so glad that it didn't come any closer, because it looked just like that Roman cat beast. The monkeys are a lot more fun. You should see how they swing from tree to tree. I got dizzy just watching them. Stay on your guard, Sophie. Best wishes for you from your Felix. So while I was reading this letter, I thought about sequence. If you remember when we started talking about sequence, it's the order that things happen in a story. And we can usually look for the words first and next. And Felix told us that he had a hard trip to get down the Nile River. And he said, first, I traveled by train, then in an ancient bus, right? So I was thinking that, that I could say some sequence. So here's his letter. This is where he's traveling to the coast of Africa. The coast means where the land meets the water. So it's on the outside of Africa. Here is the lion that he got to see on safari. And here he is getting dizzy watching the monkeys swing from tree to tree. Sophie looks up from the letter. Fat raindrops splash against the window. Everything outside looks so gray. She can hardly believe that the sun could be shining anywhere in the world. The next morning, it is still dark when Sophie takes a bus to the zoo with her whole class. Most of all, she wanted to see the elephants. Everything there is very quiet. Only an old zookeeper is there. He tells her that every year there are fewer and fewer elephants in Africa. But why? Sophie asks. Isn't there enough room there? There's plenty of room, the zookeeper tells her sadly, but unfortunately, there are also too many people who ignore the hunting restrictions and only think about valuable elephant tusks. If you remember from our What If You Had Animal Teeth story, the tusks are their teeth. They come out from their face. Sophie is outraged and decides, when I am grown up, I am going to protect the elephants in Africa. That is her secret plan. She will tell it only to Felix when he is back home. And here is the elephants that Felix saw. And here he is with his safari binoculars. Binoculars help you see things that are far away, like they're close up. And there's his suitcase. In the evening, the wind howls around the house. Sophie snuggles up with Dad on the sofa. Where can Felix be now? She wonders. I hope he doesn't catch a cold. While she is thinking, Dad suddenly asks, what would you all say to baked apples? Who will help? Sophie stirs the vanilla sauce. Nicholas fills the hollowed apples with almonds. Lena nibbles here and there. Sampling, she calls it. As the apples sizzle in the oven, Mom asks mysteriously, can you guess who is coming to visit for Christmas? Tell us who, the children say. Mom stretches out the mystery, staring at them slyly, and at last tells them, Aunt Etta is coming. Sophie and her brothers and sister are thrilled. Aunt Etta has been traveling all over the world. She tells exciting stories and is always full of new ideas. Suddenly, they smell something burning. Uh-oh, save the baked apples, Dad yells, but they get there too late. Don't be sad, Dad, Lena says. We still love you anyway. The day that Sophie and Mom bring the box of Christmas decorations out of the basement, a colorful airmail letter arrives. So here are their baked apples. Don't think they're supposed to be black. That means they got burned. And here is our next letter. If you look at the stamps, where are they from? Yeah, the stamps say USA. And this little stamp here, which is another stamp from the post office, says New York. So our world traveler has left Africa, and now he is sending us a letter, or sending Sophie a letter from New York. I was really excited when I read this letter from Kenya because I have actually been on a safari, which was absolutely amazing, and I got to see elephants up close and also got to see lions and a leopard and a whole bunch of different birds, a hippopotamus, zebras, and a bunch of different animals that look kind of like zebras, springbok and okapis, and just a whole bunch of really cool animals. And I got to see them up close. Some of them were not very close. But it was really amazing to be where animals live naturally in their habitat, and they weren't in cages. They were just walking or running around just like they would as if nobody was there. I hope you're enjoying Letters from Felix, and I hope you come back for our next letter tomorrow, which again, he is finally in the United States, which is on the continent of North America. I hope to see you soon. Bye.